Yay! It's a good start.
Hello, everyone. We're not muted anymore.
Hashtag professional streamer.
Yep.
It would
as
be a
always.
Simon stream without some technical problem at the beginning.
always.
Stay on brand.
Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and welcome back for episode 2 of Dark Matter. Before we get into a recap of what happened last time, let's just introduce ourselves, go around the table, and tell us who you are, who you will be playing. I am not going to try to have any one of you volunteer, so I'm just going to point someone, and I'll start with Alex.
But you didn't point. Yeah, fair enough. Hi, I'm Alex. I will be playing as the bodyguard. And wow, what else was I supposed to talk about? Because I blanked out for a second there.
Well, at the very least, your name.
Hey, I am Edard.
Alright, next up, let's just go around counterclockwise with Charlie.
Oh, hello! Helps if you can find your unmute button. I'm Charlie, totally professional streamer. I am playing Lola Lynn, the pilot. That's my job aboard the ship.
And right above Charlie is Eddie.
Hello. As Simon said, I'm Eddie, and I'm playing Doxy and Loxy, my wonderful little AI that floats around and does cool stuff with me. And I am the engineer, a gnome, or star gnome.
We'll skip over myself because I'm not important. Next up is Deirdre.
Hello all, I'm Deirdre and I'm playing your wonderful Avira Cleric of the Void, Kebachet this evening. And she's very, very happy to be here.
Correction, that's the SAS domain that you follow, clearly.
No, that's just a PS specialty and a higher level attainment within the Void. All who follow the Void can attain it, you just have to work for it.
You unlock sassiness at 3rd level. Next up is Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm with Mage Hand Press, and we made this awesome setting and book that we're using to play this game. Today, I am playing the fearless captain Zindak Highhill, who's completely, legitimate, clearly not a crime lord, clearly just a lawyer that does some jobs on the side, with his totally loyal, unquestioning crew that just trusts his judgment.
Sure thing. Ooh, there's like a lot of music. I'd advise everyone to lower your sound if you want to, just in case. And we'll introduce our last player, but certainly not the least, Rochelle.
Hi everybody, my name is Rochelle. I go by Meep on a lot of social medias. I'll be playing a Rothian witch this evening. Name is Redrick. Pronouns are they, them. But will respond to whatever. Doesn't really have a preference. I'm happy to be here. Can't wait to get started.
And I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Hi everyone, I'll be GMing tonight and sort of interpreting the will of Twitch, the very capricious AI. As you can see down below under this very window, you'll see I have a tiny image with what your donations can do. If you click on the image, it brings you straight to the Streamlabs page. If you want to donate, it's either bits or a monetary donation. The image explains everything. Thing is that I forgot to do last time is if you donate, please enter in chat. If you donate a certain amount, like a bigger amount than just a specific one for, let's say, a ship surge or something like that, just type in chat what you want your donation to be used for. These donations are used to keep the game up, this channel up, and to also pay for all of the wonderful art that went into, well, the intro sequence, for example. And maybe for future guests and all that. Speaking of... My computer's lagging, I'm sorry. Speaking of... Come on. What the hell? Hello? Am I frozen? Okay. Speaking of donations, we've got a lot that happened last week, and a few of the rooms aboard the ship have been unlocked. You haven't gotten around to visiting them yet. We'll get into that. But as before we pick back up, can either one of you, recap what happened last session?
Fine. It's very
Wow.
Okay.
It's very, very easy to understand what happened. Our captain believed he would be an easy in-and-out job. I never believe our captain when he says it is an easy in-and-out job. Although we landed on a planet, we're there to repossess some gentleman's mining laser. The gentleman objected to the picking up of said mining laser. There was conversations with Twitch being our wonderful AI. I don't know why people call the AI Twitch. The ship's name is the Scarlet Trust. At least you should be able to call her Scarlet. It's her own name, for God's sakes. There was conversations with the gentleman whose laser we were repossessing. The gentleman decided to be difficult and lie to our faces. One of us may or may not have scared the gentleman into a fit of apoplexy. One of the other of us may have ensured that the gentleman didn't die in that fit of apoplexy. We had a conversation about how we were going to get everyone on this dust planet. I mean, really, it has a giant hole in the size of it. Can we call it a planet anymore? Is it actually in orbit around something?
It is.
Okay, well, in that case, then yes, it is a planet, but...
For the time being, it is.
Body.
It is some sort of celestial body that has a giant hole in the side and will probably implode in the near future. And Captain believes that we should be able to get these 30 individuals off the planet. Our pilot is concerned about weight. Our AI is concerned about life support, and your cleric is just like, well, wouldn't it be so much easier if they were all unconscious for the trip?
That is pretty much it.
And that's where we are.
That's where you are, but that is not where Lola is. And we'll start with her tonight. Aboard the Scarlet Trust, Lola, you were passing time, I guess, waiting for them to finish up their job. There's just been this big discussion about whether or not you should bring the people aboard and where would you ditch them afterwards. And then you hear Stella she runs into the cockpit whining. Well, not the cockpit, but the bridge. Whining. It looks like she's... Oh, wow. Thank you. It looks like she's, in pain.
She makes sad faces, but thank you, Mal. Not my explanation.
Yes, thank you, Mal. I'm trying to tell us in chat, Mal, what you want your donation to go for. But yeah, she's whining.
I'll hop up from my seat in the chair. I imagine I kind of sit sideways, like my legs up over the side, kind of comfortable. All I've had to do for like the last hour is move the ship slightly to avoid the laser coming straight down through the middle of it. So yeah, I'll hop up and I'm gonna go over to Stella and check her over. My poor good doggo.
Stella's fur smells like skunk.
Ooh.
And then as you look past her beyond the bridge, you see this moving greenish cloud of stinking vapors. And you just hear the ding from Twitch saying, "A new room has been unlocked. I am now decontaminating the entire ship. You shouldn't be aboard if you're dependent on breathing for your life. Good day." And I'm gonna ask you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure will. Oh, that's not good. That's a 4 plus whatever's on my character sheet, which is lagging.
I doubt that your character sheet has a plus 8.
That's a F5 total.
Okay. You for the next about 10 minutes, or if you exit the ship prior to that, you have disadvantage on everything as you are nauseous. Like there is no tomorrow. The ship, actually, the decontamination process, apparently, is based on a very specific creature in the galaxy called a troglodyte. And it's an artificial troglodyte gland that creates this superb perfume that accompanies the decontamination process.
I'm gonna grab my space helmet and shove that on my head and turn on the rebreather. And I'm gonna pick up Stella in my arms, and we're gonna exit the ship by his stage left.
All right. As soon as you exit the ship, this fog cloud thing escapes into the air, and it dissipates pretty fast as soon as it hits the exterior of the ship. There's not enough to cover any grand area. But the moment you come out of the ship, Twitch says through your communicator, "Oh, Miss Johnson, remember last when I told you that I would protect you from danger?"
Sure.
All right, I'm protecting you from danger now. And you see all around you shrubs, plants, and trees just instantly catch on fire.
Which, I'm not so sure they were a danger, you know? You could have left a little bit of the vegetation.
Oh, Miss Johnson, I am fairly sure that this flora was about to kill you. You can thank me later. And it turns off the speaker. These were two of the pending surges from last week. So the rest of the group, you notice out in the distance, as you're exiting the building, or even just looking through the windows in the mayor's office, that at the end of the street where the ship was landed, trees caught on fire. You notice Lola coming out, and then everything catches on fire. Well, everything. Flora, mostly. Just flora.
So, I mean, just to recap where we're at right now in relation, we're in the office still, or we're walking down from the office with the laser?
I think we're still in the office.
Yeah, you would still be in the office, or on the first level if... No, I think everyone got out of the first level.
Everyone's upstairs.
Right.
Lola, darling, are you well? We noticed some spontaneous combustion.
Well, you know, Cap, I'm a little bit hot, but I think this one's on Twitch.
Well, then I would assume that there was some sort of reason for it. Probably some botanical contaminant.
She said danger of some kind, but I don't rightly see none of that. Just see burning bushes. There's something biblical going on.
Is the ship itself on fire, or are you okay?
Oh, the ship's fine. It's just decontamination, and you know what a stink she makes doing that.
Indeed.
Doxy
Doxy
would have a interface kind of like pop up, and he'd start doing, well, according to the remote diagnostics, it seems like some new rooms opened up, and perhaps that required a new cleansing, if it were.
You know, it's entirely possible that the ship's simply just a little twitchy.
It's just because you don't care to speak with her in a proper manner. I don't understand your problem with that. It's quite easy.
The Twitch now, would you kindly tell us what exactly the flora was going to do?
It might have strangled you in your sleep.
Might.
Well, that's something.
I mean, did you see this tree? And the ship highlights on anyone that has like an interface, even through your visor on your helmet, Lola, you notice one of the burning shrubs is now highlighted by Twitch. And it says, "I have seen this shrub. The look in its eyes. It had murder. If it could, it would have jumped you and tried to kill you right there on the spot. I am a protector and a defender of my crew. After all, You are my closest friends.
I think you're confusing vegetation with vegans. I can see where you get confused. Both are rather aggressive, but one can actually kill you in your sleep, one's a bush.
This is what I'm talking about. The ship, it just does things. You never know what it's gonna do. It's completely unpredictable. It's gotta. Yes,
Captain. Just because you're paranoid does not mean they're not really are out to get you. I'd much rather a paranoid ship than a ship that would be unconcerned with our safety and care.
Yes, the ship is so concerned with our care, and it's offered to set me on fire multiple times.
Well, that's just because you're just rude to it.
Now, have y'all resolved the problem of the population around here?
We haven't yet fully discussed that. I believe that there were discussions around putting a couple of the
medically induced comas.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so we take the population of this planet. There's 34 people. We put them in a medically induced coma thanks to the expertise of our wonderful medic, and then we simply, fly them where they need to be flown.
Do they want to leave? Have we even broached that subject? Otherwise, it's just kind of kidnapping.
I'm sure that. Well, I know the mayor's highly motivated to leave. I couldn't tell you about the rest of the population here. I'm not going to force anyone to leave that doesn't want to leave, but we're offering it.
I mean, according to my calculations, this planet does seem to be on its last breath.
It would be in their best interest.
Call me old-fashioned, but why didn't y'all just call a town meeting of sorts?
Well, that's
okay. Doxy would start basically trying to interface with I guess any kind of emergency broadcast system.
Yeah, there's a PA system. You're gonna need to make a tech check.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
While you do that, trying to interface with the system, I'd like to interject to the captain. Cap, you're aware that if we bring 30 plus people in the ship, even though they're in a coma, that there still is some remnant of security risk.
Well, with them being in a coma, security isn't going to be much of an issue if they're asleep.
Right, but let a few of them wake up without us knowing, and then suddenly it's murder or on the Space Express.
I have complete and total faith in our esteemed medic.
I got a natural 20.
I'll go with your judgment.
I do appreciate you bringing up the concern, though.
You hop on the PA, and what do you announce, Doxy, to the population of this little mining town?
Abandoned ship.
For your own safety, please join us at the town hall for a brief discussion around options for your safety. Come now, mandatory meeting. Thank you. And we'll shut it down.
It'll take about maybe 20-ish minutes before everyone gathers for the town hall. Does any one of you want to do anything in the meantime?
Doxy, do you mind if we start disassembling this laser and getting it on board?
Captain. Seems like that's our next option.
And
I will help with that.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, lovely. Sorry. I haven't seen your work with mechanics. I'd be very curious to see how this goes.
Just blank smile.
Juret is very accomplished in these matters, at least in my experience.
No, is it the smile that's too big for your face smile, or not quite? Not quite. Okay.
And I still look like that, like a Scathari, so I lumber over there, and I'm probably not really any actual help purposefully that way. I could probably do more than I let on, but it's just the weird, glancing every once in a while.
Well, how
Staring intently when I shouldn't be.
how strong are you?
I am not strong.
Okay.
I actually have negative strength.
Then yeah, even the most basic help that you could. Anyway, physically speaking, yeah, no, forget it.
I'm like the middle manager who's really just like, oh, you need to do it up there. Oh no, that looks terrible. No, we're gonna go down here now. That's all I'm doing is meddling at the end of the day.
So Doxy and Zredrick are gonna go for the laser. What about the rest of you?
Eddard, would you mind assisting them? They might struggle a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
All right.
I'm gonna go flex.
And what
Suddenly
about...
my shirt explodes.
Well, no, I would also imagine that Doxy would kind of motion to Eddard. It's like, come along, I might need your help to lift something.
I mean, I will use my mage hand, to reach stuff. I will do something to help out, but it just will be very, very useful most of the time.
Do you still have your sentient hammer, or is that gone?
That's gone. It's now just a hammer.
Tragically,
Well, it's not just a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's probably snuck back into your tool belt, so I guess you should just watch out. At a certain point, you'll just see this montage of Doxy, a mox attached to his face.
What about Lola and Kebachet?
I'd quite like to get Keb to take a look at Stella. She took a mouthful of whatever stink it was that Twitch was putting out.
Yes, I do wish to make sure that you and your animal are well. What do you wish to do with the gentleman on the floor?
He's awake now, isn't he?
Cabot is barely awake.
Yes, of course.
I mean, he had a stroke 2 minutes ago.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go over and just cast another Spare the Dying on him. Just kind of, you'll be fine, darling. Now I need to go check on people who actually need my medical attention. Captain, if you have no further use for me at the moment.
I think I'm good.
Scream very loudly when people start shooting at you.
I think I might just call you on the comms if that happens.
If it ever comes to that. So, I'll leave the town hall for last. I'll start with the unmaking of the laser. You notice, all three of you, Eddard, Zred, and Doxy, when you arrive in the steeple part of that building, that the laser is immense. It is roughly 15 feet high, with a circumference that borders on, I don't know, maybe 12 feet. So it's like this long cylinder with a pointy end at one point, and everything's connected to various cables, tubes, and whatnots that you see all over the place. The important part is the cylinder. This is what you need to take away. The rest of the cabling and whatever, can be purchased anywhere depending on where the laser is going to be installed. Taking time to move it, or to remove it at least from where it is going to require a successful where are my notes? A successful, yay for notes. Alright, it's a successful whatever check, depending on how you want to go about and doing it. But every time you try to pass a check, it takes 3 hours. The higher... I'm just going to explain to you what this skill challenge is going to be like. The higher you roll, the less damage you cause to the laser.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, try to play to your strength. But how do you go about removing this giant construction from where it is?
Well, I would probably have Loxy do an analysis to kind of see or determine the coupling points. And I guess figuring out, knowing Eddard's kind of capacity and strength and kind of knowing my team, I'd probably kind of add that into the analysis and determine kind of how we'd move it as well. So maybe have Eddard be a guide, like someone I can kind of move it, and we'd find a crane of some kind to do to basically lift it down onto like a cart or something like that.
I would suggest we find a power source first and disconnect that first.
Right.
It might need time to power it down. It might need time to like expel the excess electricity before we can actually touch it.
Right. So that's kind of like part of the analysis of the decoupling, I think.
Okay.
But yeah. So that'd be kind of the starting point. So analysis of decoupling, then figuring out kind of its rough weight to then jerry rig a pulley system or crane system to move it.
All right.
Perhaps.
Oh, yep.
Perhaps the ship has something.
Yeah, assume that you can use the ship to try to either
like crane it up into
or move it elsewhere. Yeah, like I mean,
I need to good piece of timber higher than the thing, and I can makeshift you something pretty easy.
Because you could also just use the ship to hover above it when you want to pick it up or something.
I was just thinking about that because, like, if you think about, oh, hi, cat. If you think about Firefly, right, when they did the train heist, that's kind of what they did. They went above the train car and hoisted it up.
All right,
so,
So in your case, Doxy and Loxy, I'm gonna ask you to. You're gonna need, if you use the ship, to make a pilot check.
Oh, okay.
And because Loxy is helping the way it is helping, everyone has a +2 on whatever checks that you would need to roll for this thing.
Okay.
So in your case, she would give you a +2 to your pilot check. But what about Zred? How'd you go about helping them?
I don't really have a whole lot to offer, like I said, other than my mage hand, being able to, go up and reach places that are, hard to reach or that kind of thing. And
I think an extra pair of hands is always good
skills.
too.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, with the mage hand, you could grab the cables as they're coming down from the ship and, kind of guide them and latch them onto the device.
So you're used to casting mage hand. You've been a witch for a while. I'm not even going to ask you to roll. You have enough knowledge of the spell and the limitations thereof that you know how to make sure that you don't cast it on something that would be too heavy and then fail or what have you. So you're just going about making sure that any space that would be dangerous to reach or impossible to reach with the tools that you have at the moment, you're able to take care of that.
Right.
How spooky does your mage hand look like?
That's a great question. I think it's not cartoony like I've seen a lot of people draw it. It looks like a Rothian hand. So it has that sort of like bony, knuckly appearance with the longish claws, and it always looks like it's kind of half contracted, just a little bit. It looks like just kind of gross and clawy.
So, just out of curiosity, does Doxy see this mage hand?
Do you want Doxy?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
I mean, it's possible that he wouldn't, because according to the assignment, I would be the piloting to kind of coordinate getting the item.
Yeah, but you can do it from, you can do it remotely.
Oh, fuck yeah. I didn't know I had full control.
I don't think that Zredrick would have even given it a second thought. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I'm going to roll for it to see if I see it.
Cool.
Oh, that's really good. What is my perception, actually? I don't even know. Perception. Oh, it's a +0, so it's a 17.
Oh, you definitely see this bony Rothian hand just moving cables about, or even unscrewing nuts and bolts like it was nothing.
Doxy makes a mental note. Very interesting form that their mage, their hand, astral hand has taken.
I don't even know what a Scathari mage hand would look like. It's a good question.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, exactly. You mean Pinterest.
Okay, so
Stoinberg just
And Eddard, how do you help?
I'm just doing the heavy lifting. I'm not
Alright.
good with mechanical stuff or computer stuff. What can I say? I'm old-fashioned. I'm gonna grab stuff and move stuff and tell me what to move, tell me what to hoist, what to hoist, and
So- should I move the ship into position and then cables will drop down so that you guys can all hook onto it, that kind of stuff?
Yep.
After
Do you
I,
think that needs to be moved out of the way aside from cabling?
Oh,
Like,
I mean,
masonry, things
I
like that?
assume that when you talk about cabling, you talk about anything that could potentially obstruct the way
Right,
to
okay.
get there.
oh yeah, so like decoupling it and then some hoisting cables would drop down from the cargo bay or something like that from the hatch and
Yeah, they're magnetic, so you just need to plug them
Oh,
or
sweet.
just stick them somewhere. Eddard, I'm going to ask you to roll a strength check. And what was your pilot check?
oh,
Doxy.
I have none yet.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'd
that was-
also like to remind you that Twitch done flushed the whole plane with skunk. And y'all are opening up a hatch, it's just gonna open up the sink.
Yep.
it airs out the ship.
So that'll be
And this
unpleasant
is
for those
that.
It
Yeah,
does.
underneath. Like,
Um,
I think Doxy at this point, depending on how I would enter into the ship,
Well, do you
like,
pilot it?
like,
Do you pilot it remotely?
oh, that's right, I pilot it remotely. So yeah, so as soon as it opens, like just the stink just like whoosh.
The stink does go down, but like I said earlier, when Lola went outside, it just dissipates and evaporates.
Okay, so it's not.
So
super
you're
bad.
lucky enough to not have to suffer for that. And what's your pilot check?
I want to say. Let me just double check. Piloting is a 5. Okay, cool. So it's a 24.
Good.
I'm
You
rolling high. That was a natural 19.
you hover the ship over the structure, decouple everything. Eddard was holding on to one of the cables that came down from the ship, and he failed barely to put it like somewhere safe, and instead took the big magnet and plugged it straight on one of the many pieces of electronics that power the laser.
I'm an idiot.
Wait,
The laser-
wait.
You can get it on board the ship, but it has been damaged and might
Okay.
need repairs later on.
Oh, and sometimes you just need to look before you place.
It looked fine. It was a big piece of metal. This is a magnet. The magnet goes on metal.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yes, Mom.
But that's gonna take a whole lot of 3 hours.
Okay.
So while this is happening, we have 3 hours in the med bay. Or not, because I figure you guys aren't going back into the ship just yet.
Well, it's flying above right now, so no, yeah.
And-
it'd be hard to.
And I would have walked out and to check on Lola and Stella, and I would have my personal med kits,
Okay, good.
but that's always a given. I always carry that.
All right, then yeah. Make a medicine check on poor little Stella.
Yes, indeed. The animal is very poor. It's a 21.
So, while Lola will be fine, it stank and it made you nauseous for a while. Lola is small, very small, and she stood exactly where the vents were opening because she has a habit of crawling through the vents. So, she took a whole breath of it in, and she is considered poison
Oh,
for.
No.
According to the roll that you rolled, you know that it might be a week before she starts feeling better, unless treatment is given to the poor coyote.
Well, I can tell you that the poor animal is unfortunately very ill at the moment. It might take a week to take care of it itself. I can try to do some minor care for it on my own. I freely acknowledge that 4 levitated canine mammals are not my usual patients, but...
Well, I know you ain't no veterinarian, but surely it's something you can do for her.
Indeed. I feel that this might be in our best interests. Excuse me a moment. And she's going to reach out and just kind of hover her hands over the dog, and you see kind of coming out of this carbonite armor that she wears, that's this kind of black and blue and purple light that just kind of coalesces around as she reaches out and almost lifts, speaking small words, and kind of lifts the poison into her hand and pull it off the dog and just kind of crunches it in her hand and throws it away as she casts Healing Word on the puppy. I gotta do the thingy. I did it not. Okay. There we go. For 9 points of healing on the dog.
The moment that you've, withdrew the poison from inside her lungs, Stella just starts running around, barking and panting and wagging its tail. And seems like she is going to be just fine, even though her fur smells like shit.
I'm quite sure we can find some means of... I've heard that tomato juice might be helpful in this situation. Also, possibly, maybe this time the dog will stay out of my infirmary.
I don't see the connection between the infirmary and Twitch skunk, but okay.
No, I just mean that maybe the dog will be nicer to me and stay the hell out of my space.
Oh, she don't mean no harm. And Lola is gonna grab Stella's bowl from Hello Bandolier and just throw it kind of away from I imagine it being like up the little runway area, just away from the burning bushes. And, the heavy machinery that's being moved around.
Yeah, you see this, in the background while you're making sure that Stella is fine and all that. You see the ship hovering over the steeple and everything being hoisted up. And during that time, just move on to Zendak and the mayor, just a few minutes prior to the town hall meeting in the watering hole.
All right. So, how are you feeling,
Wait,
Mr. Mayor?
but was I able to check on Lola as well?
Oh, Lola's fine.
Okay.
She didn't inhale enough. She did have like a major headache that lasted maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Lola, do you wish to attend this meeting, or would you rather stand here and watch them utterly fail at lifting a heavy object?
Well, I'm not sure which I could be less helpful to be honest. And she's gonna look between the watering hole and the heavy machinery, and she's like, "That's my ship. They're moving around." But
we're fine.
What do they got to drink in that place anyway?
Water.
That's right.
Yeah.
A literal kind of folk around here. Just the stuff that I want for months on my ship. Perfect. And I'm gonna stay here, keep an eye. Let Stella run around, enjoy the sun.
Could you maybe possibly based on this decontamination, a few of those small rodent-like creatures will have been forcibly removed from the structure of the ship, and we can let your small canine rip them to shreds?
Well, that's a very nice thought. I'm sure Stella will be delighted. I'll explain it to her while you're down in the meeting.
Of course. Pleasant afternoon.
Can you roll a single d20, Lola?
I also just remembered that I can't get poisoned, so
Oh, well then.
I might be resistant. It's either resistant or immune. I can't remember. Because I'm a green skin. Let me have a look.
That's cool.
I have advantage on saving throws, and I'm resistant to poison damage. Right, D20. Let's do this. Slash roll, because we're on roll 20. That's a 10.
Thank you. I'll let you know what happens later. So, town hall meeting. Right before it starts, you took Mayor Cabot aside, Zendak. Well, you didn't take him aside. He's staying in his office. He's not moving from there.
Yeah, I figured, he's probably laying there. Olive propped him up on where he's sitting, still on the ground, but like against the back of his desk.
Okay, yeah.
So, I just want to double check before we have this meeting that we understand each other. I want to make sure that, this is going to remain amicable. I promised my crew an in and out job, and I hope that you don't do anything to complicate that.
I wouldn't do anything to complicate anything.
All right. See these rings here that I'm wearing on my hand? I like to call them my mortal coil now. They can harm people, but they can also relieve people. You seem to be cooperating, so I'm gonna make you feel a little better. And I just grab him on the shoulder and I cast Cure Wounds.
You can do Cure Wounds?
I can, thanks to my trinket. I have 3 different words are hard today.
More than 2, less than 4 trinkets.
Yeah, I have 3 trinkets.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to ask you to roll for the Cure Wounds. It's even probably the lowest amount would be enough to get him back onto his feet. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I hope I don't owe you anything for this.
You know what? We can say that this is on the house with the assumption that you continue to cooperate like you currently are. Now, here's what we need from you. When we go down to this town hall meeting, you're going to tell them that, you're so grateful that we're taking you off this planet along with everyone else, and that you've traded this laser. See, I'm even going to let you save face. I'm not going to tell people that you missed payments like a loser. I'm going to let people say that you, for the benefit of your people, traded this laser to me for safe passage for your friends.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that. I thank you, Mr.
Zendak, Mr. Highhill.
Mr. Highhill, you're one of the good ones.
I appreciate you saying that. I really do try. I really do try to not have to play the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's go down. I don't have anything else to say. And you see he's clutching his chest a bit, maybe more by reflex or fear that something's gonna happen again.
Hey, you need anything else before we go down? You're still looking a little shaky.
No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay, it wouldn't cost you nothing.
I know better than to expect 2 favors in a row from the firm. I'll be fine, Mr. Highhill.
Oh, alrighty.
And you get to the elevator, and he tries to call it. Well, the elevator's there, but it's not gonna go down anymore.
Oh.
Because remember, someone broke it.
You up for some stairs?
He clutches his heart, and he's like, I might take you up on that second favor then. Damn, okay, stairs.
Let me see what I can do. And I am going to pull out a potion of healing, and I'm going to give him a potion of healing.
Yes, waste all of your resources on an NPC.
Yep.
I love it. He takes the potion.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks down. And with you, actually, he shows you where the stairs are, and they are hidden in back of his desk. It's a hidden staircase that goes down, down, down the structure onto the the ground floor.
Alrighty. So,
I'm ready to go to that town hall you called. And you see in the distance, far away, the rest of the people trying to, well, not trying, but gathering inside the watering hole together.
I kind of imagine Doxy up on top, like, all right, let's go over a little bit more.
Yeah, the sound that the ship makes is deafening. But as long as you're, within another building, you're fine. But on the street, you almost have to yell.
Yeah.
Everybody gathers. I think Kebichet wanted to attend the town hall as well. For the rest of the crew, if you turn on your communication devices, you can hear whatever's going to be said in there. As long, you won't be able to participate necessarily because you're actively doing something else. But everyone gathers in the watering hole. The destroyer is handing out glasses of water to everyone. He's like, "It's on the house. I'm on the house."
I forgot about him.
Hi, Mr. Cabot.
Now the question, let's see how long he lasts.
And Cabot just nods. What's the meaning of this town hall, Mr. Cabot? We were working hard. Woo-hoo-hoo, I'm now Mickey Mouse.
And copyright strike.
And Cabot explains that, I have an announcement for everyone. Thank you, Ray Fontaine, for the $20 donation.
Oh.
Don't forget to tell us what it's for.
Yes. For Meep's boys, they want to see a giant space robot. Huge Pacific Rim fans. Well, we'll see about... Wait a second, that is a lot. A lot of... Okay. Noted. You'll see a bit later.
And we're all gonna die.
A giant robot lands on the watering hole. Everyone dies.
No,
but
robot.
Called it.
It's the sci-fi version of rocks falling.
Rocks falling, everybody dies. No, I'll get to the wild ship surges in a second, but right before we get to that, Cabot, and I'll just paraphrase, Cabot basically retells what Zendak told them to say. You know how the planet is dying. We made however much money we were able to gather with the adamantine trade and the mining and the hardworking and the very gregarious lifestyle that they've lived. But now it's time to leave for greener pastures, for a better future and better prospects for all of us here. He asks each and every one present, like, who wants to stay. Nobody wants to stay. There was actually someone who asked, like, well, is the laser going to stay here? Because if it stays here, I'm going to take care of the laser. And Cabot's like, no, this is our ticket out of here. And then, it sways the majority over. All of them, actually, over. And then the destroyer pipes up near the end of the meeting and says, but what about the Forge, Mayor? What are we going to do about Thurman and his boys? And Cabot turns to Zendak and he says, Mr. Highhill, what do you think? Can your ship fly up to the the Forge?
I was under the impression that was the plan all along.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then Thorman and the rest of the lads are coming with us. And you see, there are a lot of working people here in town, but there are also a lot of families that, children, mothers or fathers taking care of the children while the people are working. And you notice that there's quite a few of them that seem to be missing their better halves. Mm-hmm. When a mention is said of the Forge, everyone is much more relieved than they were when they came in the first place.
Out of character, I believe we discussed that there was about 34, 36 people between what's on this planet and on the Forge, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that they're
not families with 8 children.
Yeah. All right.
There's about 4 kids on this whole planet.
While Cabot is doing his spiel, Cabochette is watching him, trying to get a read on how, because he lied to us and he's currently lying to the people. How much is he lying about, and how much of the money that he was supposedly making is hidden somewhere?
Make an insight check.
I can possibly do that.
Why didn't I take detective background, or not detective background?
I can do that. Well, as long as I do it well.
I mean, you can try insight.
That's a 9.
Too.
Nope. That's the low. That's almost the lowest I can do. Nope, that's a 9.
From what you rolled, he's an habitual liar. It comes easy to Cabot. He just lied straight-faced to this entire crowd and without batting an eye. Just like he lied to you earlier. If he's keeping secrets, he's keeping them well.
Okay.
But he does seem to genuinely care for the people.
Okay, now, I do have one thing to say before we disperse from this town meeting, Mr. Mayor.
Oh yes, Mr. Ihill, go right ahead.
Okay, yes. So I just need everyone to understand, our ship is not normally equipped for carrying this many people, but we're still going to do it. However, we're going to need some cooperation from all of you. Our esteemed medical officer is going to put you into stasis for the duration of our time on the ship. That's to ensure that we have enough oxygen to get you where we're going.
There was a kid, probably like 6 years old. You notice that he's very furry. Looks like a Thundercat, but like 6-year-old. And he gets off his parent, who doesn't appear to be Thundercatish in appearance at all, but he just gets off of their knees and raises a timid hand up.
Yes.
But what if I have to go pee-pee? What do I do?
Well, the stasis will make it to where you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
You'll just be asleep the whole time. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
But please go before you go to stasis. Dear Lord.
It takes a few minutes for stasis to hit, so if you're in the process of... there's a few other, maybe older town people, that do ask, like, what are the health risks? What are the risks of going into stasis? Like, am I going to never wake up, basically?
I believe that any risks are going to be minimal, but really I'm not a medical expert. That's going to be a question for, Cabochette over there. She's the one that knows the ins and outs of this process. Unfortunately, I just can't answer those questions.
And one of the older townsfolk turns to look at Cabochette and says, "Oh, I'm not letting one of these people handle me in stasis." And you see through their hair pointy ears. Very old elf.
Well, I'm sorry that you have such specious problems, but I'm a medical professional and I've taken oaths to protect all of my patients. While you're in my care, you're my patient, and I would never let anything harm you. Even yourself.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
That she's not as good at. That's a 2.
He says, well then, let me inspect these medical facilities before I do or say anything. And he turns to Cabot and says, at worst, I'd rather die on this rock than be taken care of by the feathered ones. We all know what they think of us.
You could really be quite kind and call me by my name, which is Kebichet.
All right. Everyone.
Yes, of course I will let you inspect my medical facilities, but my question is, before you do so, what are your qualifications?
Oh, all right.
I do not have to explain myself to you. Good
Well,
day.
if you're going to be on my ship, I think it's fair to answer the question.
I do wish to know how much I would need to explain to you, wench, about what you are seeing. I mean...
And Cabot goes, Mr. Sunpetal here is an ambassador for House Sunpetal.
That's very interesting, but what is his medical qualifications? And I'd be slightly concerned if he has been your medical treatment until now, if he did not be able to diagnose your fits of apoplexy. By the way, how are you feeling any better, and should I proceed with any more medical treatment?
It's okay. Mr. Highhill gave me a hit of his flask and a hit of his rings. Feeling much better.
Of course he did.
And the elf turns to you and says, I'm not a medical professional. I am the voice of the sun above and representative of the only true religion here.
Oh, that's gonna end well. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite sure you believe that you do. And as long as you speak for that bright blazing abomination above, you can keep on talking all you want. But if you wish to see my medical facilities, I need to see your qualifications. And her feathers start to get noticeably darker along the back of her head.
Well, I'll just... because I'm not a medical professional. So here, I'll make like a medicine check for him. And how well I roll is how well he explains his credentials, his knowledge of... pretty good.
Okay.
He's not a doctor per se. You're a doctor. But he knows enough, he's treated enough wounds and enough illnesses, mostly through magic, but he still knows how to recognize and how to diagnose issues.
Well, I can let him inside, and I can ensure that he will be able to inform other people in this wonderful hamlet that you have here of the proper ways in which I am going to be caring for them. He's not entirely irredeemable, even if he does have very interesting beliefs in religion.
Edit, can you escort them just in case this devolves into a religious debate?
And because you said that, that's when Eddard was paying attention to you and plugging the giant magnet onto the electronics.
And I'm like, no, wait!
And it all ties together. You get the people up in the ship. You get everyone ready. You don't have, since you're not breaking Atmo just yet, they can stay awake in the, passenger quarters if you wanted. But because you're bringing all those villagers, I have Rafen Thane to thank for something.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, can each one of you roll real quick a D225?
All of us?
All of us
why
once.
Why didn't we get on the ship first to test it?
Nope.
I mean,
man.
Kebichet would entirely let the elf walk on first.
So we're all rolling a D25.
A D225, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, 225, okay.
That's gonna end well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need 4 more.
Oh my
What?
god.
4 people out of you.
I got you,
rolled
I
one.
got you. I got one.
I got one.
51, 42. Oh my god. And 2 more.
Go on, Meep.
I'll do the other one.
The ship is just going to be insane. We're gonna end up talking backward.
I got the same number twice.
Yeah, I know. So let's see if it does what it does, I should say. All right.
Oh my God.
You know the chances of that happening are like excessively small.
Yep, I need
Yeah.
someone to roll
I defied
10 d10s, please.
I got you.
Not it.
God.
Knowing my
Oh,
luck is gonna match.
die.
61.
All right, I need
Ah.
someone else to roll another 10 d10.
Oh gosh.
She's got it.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't know if I want to have that responsibility. You got a lot of high numbers there, dude.
Oh God, yes.
Am I supposed to be rolling that?
No, but who rolled a 66 earlier?
I did.
You did. Hey, Lola. Something appears in the back of your neck. Anyone among the crew looking at Lola, you see this, like, symbol. Like her makeup was fading in her neck. You've never realized them up until today, but she must have put on foundation to cover this tattoo every single day before. Maybe she just forgot today. It is a black Rothian symbol.
Oh.
It marks her as actually a Rothian spy, a human that targets planets and then, acts as a beacon for the fleet to come harvest.
Oh my gosh.
And this is why they're my favorite enemy.
Who rolled a 118?
Dread.
Not me. I rolled low twice.
I did.
You did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks, kids. I love you.
So, you feel, Zred, your pockets start to get heavy. Heavier and heavier. Until they're bursting to the seams. And Twitch says, I've
Peanuts.
given you a present. Transmatterification complete.
I reach down very hesitantly and pull out whatever's in my pockets.
You grab a handful of manure.
Thanks, Twitch. And then I just empty it out as fast as I can.
Yeah, there is now in the middle of town a pile of manure the size of a halfling.
Hey, boss.
Hey, I feel attacked. I feel attacked by this specific measurement that you're using to say how much poo's out there.
Who rolled a 28?
That would be me, I believe. Yes.
Oh my god. So
Of
any
course.
and all problem you had with the elf is suddenly completely gone, as everyone within your vicinity is affected by the heal spell, and it even cures his incurable racism.
Oh!
You have suddenly shown to be the one true cleric, as the void just spoke through you, and everyone is just tip-top. Actually, even Mayor Cabot seems to have lost like 10% of his body weight.
We'll never hear the end of this.
It heals obesity.
Who rolled a 74?
More importantly, it heals psychological damage and dementia issues. I've always said that the long lifespan may have been their base problems. But yes, of course, the void gives and protects us all.
I hate you.
All right, that's gonna
No,
be
you don't. You like that I
hilarious.
make you feel that I made you feel 10 years younger.
I would be 20. No thanks.
This is going
Actually,
to
no,
be
I would be 8.
one
or something
hell
like
of a
that.
ride.
I'm young as hell already. Please don't make me younger.
All right, I need to know
No,
who's
I'm
the
making you
first
younger.
person that goes into the ship. It's actually important.
Well,
I imagine it would be Lola because she's there and she would be wanting to get to her piloting seat.
So at this point, I've been remote controlling the ship to maneuver it for lifting up the laser.
Yeah, I mean, once the laser is aboard and everything.
Right. Okay.
And
so the laser's aboard.
You're bringing everyone aboard. That would be so. If Lola is the one that puts her hand on it, Lola gets shocked as the ship is electrically charged, and Lola, you are going to take.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
10 points of lightning damage.
That's okay.
You know, defib.
Lola,
It is like a
before or after the
defibrillator.
heal spell? Is it before or after the heal spell?
10 points of damage is a lot.
I imagine like literally all of her blonde hair just up
Yeah.
on end, and you get an even better look at the tattoo.
It's like.
And I'm gonna need a fucking converter.
Oh,
Go ahead, what is it?
Okay. Wow. It's going to be awesome. Yes, Twitch strikes again. Lola, you get aboard the ship. You're shocked. Alright. And then you take a few steps in.
Twitch, that's a new kind of I told you so.
Twitch says, I'm sorry, I was...
verbal command.
I'm a bit twitchy.
oh, Jesus.
But that'll teach you for doing what you do. And by the time you reach the bridge, Lola, there's like a bead of sweat going down your head. And then as everybody else gets aboard, there's sweating involved. And you look at the temperature. The temperature of the ship has gone up by 103 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
Fahrenheit or centigrade?
Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. 40
That's one of
degrees
them.
Celsius. But 103 degrees
Increased
Fahrenheit.
to or increased by?
Increased by. The
Oh,
ship
God.
is now 125 degrees Celsius.
60 degrees?
Fahrenheit, sorry. No, wait.
right.
150 Fahrenheit,
150
Which-
Fahrenheit.
For the love of God.
which is 60
Advance
degrees
your ship.
Celsius, give or take.
As Kebuchet walks on, almost not even pulsed by the temperature, just kind of brushes her hand. Well, it's very kind of you to affect my temperature issues, my dear, but the patients probably won't like it.
I'm just making sure that the people from the forge are going to be comfortable when they come in.
Well, can we limit it to certain areas of the ship? There are some small children that I'd be slightly concerned about getting heat stroke.
Nah, you just want me to do this because you hate me.
And no, I do not hate you. I take
Yeah.
care of you because I care about you. They may have problems with you, and I quite like the temperature. It's very nice. It reminds me of home.
But I think I'm going to leave it as is. And no amount of reverse psychology is going to make me change anything.
Well, all right then. I'll just go over to the
Console.
question.
Terminal.
Hmm?
I would go over to the console and check life support because I check life support as part of my antivirus rituals every morning. Is there any damage to life support itself? It's just changed the temperature, or is there a virus? Or is there a problem?
Oh no, it's just Twitch that decided to crank up the temperature.
Would you? I appreciate the temperature. Would you leave it such in my room and then maybe lower it in the medical bay? I'm concerned about slightly some of the equipment.
You're just trying to get me something that I won't like, Kebichet, so no.
Okay, well that's fine. They're gonna start complaining soon.
Cab!
Once they start doing such, remind them that I did ask.
Um,
Yes, Lola, darling.
Y'all, it's hot down here.
Yes, Twitch has decided she wishes to be accommodating to the people of the Forge and increase the temperature to 150 degrees.
Well, tell your girlfriend to turn down the heat.
Well, she's definitely not my girlfriend.
Oh
I
no,
can take care of
by
it.
far not. No.
I'm headed to engineering now. I'll see if I'll fix it.
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Y'all gonna have a puddle for a pilot if you don't fix it. Jeez.
Eddard, you take your shirt off. And then you wake up in your room.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
Twitch
Hey.
roofied you.
What do you do?
Wait, I just woke up in my room after taking my shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out. I don't understand how I got here.
You get out of the room and you see Doxy heading for the engineering bay.
Hey,
Doxy, you remember, Eddard just took his shirt off in the cargo hold 2 seconds ago. As you get out of the elevator to go to engineering, there stands Eddard with his shirt on.
Hey, did I collapse? Did you bring me to my room?
Did he collapse?
Not at all. He was walking right behind you.
And then and so I walked ahead, and then suddenly I'm in the next space, and then he's there. He's just there.
He just like teleported
Okay.
and dressed up.
How did you? Are you playing with my blink button again?
No, I don't like your blink button. I like to stay in the same realm of existence.
Well, Twitch, what did you do to Eddard? I start scanning Eddard, and I'll work on the temperature.
Loxy is freaking out.
Oh,
Anomaly detected. There are 2 Eddards aboard the ship.
Oh, that's
Oh.
not gonna end well. Although, volleyball just got interesting.
So there's, to differentiate them, we'll call them shirtless Eddard and clothed Eddard.
Well, y'all, I know which one I
it's
want.
either skin or not. That's how volleyball works, right?
Yeah, that's true. Skins and shirts. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And
I'm gonna go bond with my other self.
so for everyone on the bridge or in car, you do all notice 2 identical Eddard,
Life science. Yeah.
Hey,
and like
Eddard,
they're both alive. By the way, Doxy, they're both 100% alive.
I informed the rest of the crew. I was like, be aware there are currently 2 Eddards wandering the corridors. Do not be alarmed.
I suppose.
Eddard, try it again.
Okay, so shirted Eddard will take his shirt off.
Shirted Eddard takes the shirt off and then slowly melts into a flesh-colored puddle.
Oh!
Ah!
And it says, "No, why did you kill me?"
Well,
Doesn't matter you or me, so I'm glad it's you.
Well, it's the stuff of the nightmares.
The remaining Eddard must now change his alignment to chaotic evil, as you were in fact the evil twin.
Oh!
No, I'm kidding.
I hope so.
It would have been awesome, but that's another roll on the chart.
Wait, there's one for that?
There's one for a lot of things. Everything that's happening is something that's related to Twitch and the history of the show. By the way, Twitch
Makes
says,
no sense.
I've unlocked a lot of rooms. You might want to check them out at some point. I know we have visitors, but... Or don't. Actually, just don't. Don't look into anything. Because you know what? Whatever you do, I know you're just waiting to disassemble me.
No, that's not true, Scarlet. We like you.
I don't know who this Scarlet is.
I thought it was your name.
No, that's the name of the ship.
No, oh, that's right. The ship
AI
is
that exists within the ship of Twitch. Now, Twitch, I know that you're feeling away right now. I understand if I wanted to take you apart, I would have done it so already. I've got the engineer who's more than happy to play with any new shiny tech. And I have very clear standing orders to keep you in tip-top shape, not take you apart. So do keep that in mind.
You know what? I didn't pay attention to what you said because every time you say something, it just sounds like, Twitch, I'm going to decommission you. Holy shit. Thank you so much for what the hell? Please, Thragon, tell us in chat what you want those bits to be used for. Because I don't think that, unless you really want to, we'd be rolling 25 other surges during the break. It's up to you. You can look at the sign in the donations below and just type it out in chat. And we'll make it happen.
What if we all got a level up? That would be real nice.
That'd be real awesome, because I know that there's something about the milestones and everything, so we'll get to that later. But all the people are aboard. A lot of people are going like, wow, it is very warm in here.
Doxy would be working on that, trying to fix the temperature.
You can try to hack into Twitch's thing, but I will have to ask Kebichet, what does your antivirus spell does?
For 24 hours. Hold on. Let me get the exact wording.
Yeah. Because if you can dispel it or something, it's it's 24 hours. Can be disabled.
Yeah.
Okay, it just cannot be disabled. But
by magical effects such as technical difficulties or logic bomb, and it can't be infected with an N virus. Additionally, creatures have a disadvantage on data checks to hack the device.
Okay, so you can try to hack into Twitch and lower the temperature, Doxy, by making a
roll.
Yeah, a roll.
Oh, and fun fact for those that don't know yet, the N virus, since it was just mentioned, is basically if Skynet and the T virus from Resident Evil had a baby, and yeah, it turns technology to like chaotic evil and makes its #1 goal to spread to other systems.
You know, it almost sounds like an improvement on Twitch.
I mean, there's a reason why. I don't know. I've come across some things in my travels I wouldn't want to. There's a reason why I have my rituals in the morning to ensure that vital systems do not become infected with such things.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, yeah, there are many ways of getting around protections as a hacker. Speaking of which, the data roll.
At disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a natural 19, and that's a 5. So 5 plus. Oh boy. So 5. Data is. That doesn't make sense. My data seems to be wrong. Okay, so data would be proficiency plus
intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence, so that's 4 plus 2. We're at 2 right now?
That's 6, yep.
Yeah,
so that would be 11.
Okay.
And 10 was the number to beat.
Woohoo!
So yeah, you can bring the temperature back down, and you notice that the whole ship is a mess. You see that there are other things running on the ship, like subroutines. There's one called "Everyone is out to get me" 1.2.exe that's running, and there's another one that says it's just think about like a notepad file.
Yeah.
And it's just written over and over and over. Don't go to the forge. 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 Don't go. And it's just repeated.
Ominous.
Like in a Shining type of thing. You also notice that the food replicator is still set on
Jelly beans?
Yeah, jelly beans.
Aww.
Oh.
Jelly beans and gumdrops.
Doxy would walk over to the food replicator and test the system out and
It's just jelly beans.
He would pop them in.
And as you do so,
a good brain snack.
2 of the kids from the village look at you from the doorway. And they're like, Dad? Is that you, Dad? Daddy! And they just jump at you and hug you. They're like your size.
Ah! Hi,
We've missed you. You've been gone for so long. Like
Children.
the Thundercat kid is there.
The Wily Cat and
And another human child. Yep.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
You get around, man.
I've been around, you know. I look young for my years. Doxy would be a little freaked out, like, yeah, probably at this point, kind of regressing into grabbing some of the candies and be like, here's some candies. Leave Doxy alone. I need to get the ship up and ready to go for everyone that's coming aboard.
All right, Daddy.
Yeah,
Yay! And they leave.
Okay.
With
cool.
the and you just hear Twitch pings up and says, "Ding, 85."
What's that?
It just says the number 85.
85 for in the file.
Oh no! It's just like the PA aboard the ship just pings and says 85.
Ah, okay.
Twitch, can you explain?
Doxy still has 85 children missing.
What?
What?
I will endeavor to find them all,
Are they on board the ship?
scattered across the galaxy.
Doxy
Doxy has been a bad parent.
Dog.
You ever heard of the Jerry Springer Show, Eddie? Or not Eddie, Doxy.
But it's okay. I will help you get your family reunited, and then you will never leave me again.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Twitch.
she was a freaking
All right,
psycho.
we got a little bit of a stalker with us now, don't we?
I'm not a stalker. I'm just trying to make sure all the children are safe. Keep the children safe. Keep
Alright,
Summer
well-
safe.
Let's head off to the forge now, I guess, while,
Oh no, not the forge.
Of course the forge. Why wouldn't we go to the forge?
I may have just stumbled upon a file that said, "Don't go to the forge. Don't go to the forge." Many, many times.
I mean, is this really that surprising for...
But I don't wanna.
Is he?
Can you give me a reasoning? And I'm gonna run like an analysis of Twitch.
I'm not giving you anything at all. You keep trying to get your fingers all up in me all the time.
I want to get to know you better. That's all.
No, you just say
Oh,
that,
wow.
but you want to decommission me. You want to replace me with Loxy. I know how you look at me when you think I'm asleep. Like I'm some
Yeah.
piece of programming.
You're all my wonderful babies.
Well, so
I'm
far,
just gonna
you only have
step
2
away.
beautiful babies.
Sorry, what did you say, Simon?
He says, so far, you still have 2. You only have 2 beautiful babies. You're still missing 85.
Well, if I include you and Loxy, then that would be 87.
Still, I don't want you to do anything.
All right, we'll talk more later, Twitch.
And Lola, you notice that all of a sudden the controls lock.
Oh, we're gonna be
Twitch
stuck on the
does
planet
not
again.
want to go.
Now, Twitch, we had a good conversation about this last time. What's wrong?
I'm not talking to you.
What do I do now?
Pick one.
I'm gonna shove a gumball in my mouth and chew it passive aggressively, really like noisily, and then I'm gonna blow a bubble at Twitch.
Typical you.
Typical you from where I'm sitting.
Would you like me to try to talk to Twitch?
No, you
Oh
won't.
no! Don't go giving her no attention. That's how they get you. It's like children.
I'm
Y'all
not a
just
child.
ignore the problem until she gets over it.
Well, clearly you will age and die, and not me, so I'm staying here. And as the ship says that, you can feel it sink a bit as it like half retracts the landing gears, and just like like it was a child,
It's okay.
puffing and huffing.
Yeah.
Which... Who can you talk to? Who you gonna listen to?
I have no one anyway. Not like you would care. You're just trying to get me to do everything you want to do.
What do you want to do?
I want to stay here until the planet dies.
Is there a particular reason why? Just out of curiosity.
Just because I don't want to go to the forge.
What's at
Alright.
the forge that you don't like or that you don't want?
I just don't like it.
Well, what if the Forge came to us and we just stay here and you can out?
Then I would engage the dark matter engine and jump.
Okay.
By the way, doing that with an atmosphere is probably catastrophic.
Would I be able to lock out Twitch from some of the major systems, like piloting for a bit? Like do like a temporary lockout?
Is the antivirus running on the piloting system?
She runs antivirus on navigation, life support, fire suppression. What's the other one?
I think you took note of it.
Yeah, you did.
I
I just
did.
the Google Doc is too far. But navigation would not be the controls. Like you could hand the controls over to Lola if you wanted.
Okay.
With the roll you already rolled earlier, like I mean, you're in Twitch right now, so you can just.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll be like, for now, Twitch, you take a rest and we'll take care of things for now. Let's talk this through later. Right now, I think we all want to get back into a safer area, and I'll kind of I'll subtract Twitch from that conversation, and then speak directly to Lola and say, I've given you back the direct controls, and I temporarily locked out Twitch to see if we can't gain some sanity in our endeavors here.
As the ship takes off from, with Lola piloting, you just hear Twitch whine, "But I don't wanna." And right before we go to break, the camera's gonna pan out of the planet, zoom out into space, as multiple ships come out of the void.
Oh boy.
Modified Lakshay battle frames. Giant humanoid figures. Well, warriors, Gundams. We all know what a Gundam is.
Yes.
Except that they have 8 legs coming out of their backs.
Oh.
Like a Dr. Octopus type thing.
Yeah.
It's new and horrifying.
They're all painted in the same black, white, and purple color scheme. With a giant black spider painted on the chest.
Oh
like
boy.
Mech deriders.
Mecha Riders. And
I like it.
the audience, because you of course this is purely out of game for everybody else, but you can hear one of the pilots say, "Destination achieved. We're going to start harvesting right away. We can't let this go to waste." And the 3 robots fly down towards the planet. And we're gonna go on break for a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and we will be right back. Hey, welcome back. The ship is in transit to the Forge, and as Kebichet is going around making sure that all of the necessary precautions are taken to ensure that the passengers are going to be comfortable for the ride into outer space. Probably trying to make makeshift beds in the cargo hold or something. Twitch says, "I've been a bad friend.
Yeah, you have.
I have a present for all of you.
Oh god.
What?
I have unlocked all of the rooms.
Oh.
It is time for a celebration. Launch Confidi.exe. And instead of confetti,
Take cover.
it's whipped cream."
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
already diving under. As soon as he said launch, I was diving under the nearest table.
I kind of feel like we've gotten used to Twitch's
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. After about a month and a half now. So yeah, Doxy would also have like the shield protocol that he has, like just like ah.
Yeah, all of the
Races a brother.
but all the passengers
Yeah,
are just
We got a
doused.
free meal out of it. It's fine. It's good calories.
And the kids are gonna love it. They're gonna be sugared up before they go to sleep.
Yeah, the kids have like cupfuls of jelly beans and gumdrops and now whipped cream.
Oh god.
I am not putting them to bed.
I would like to lock the door to the bridge.
Good thing.
Stella?
I would probably ask Eddard to guard the essential areas, so making sure that none of the passengers.
But there's only 2 of me.
No, there's you and
Oh,
Puddle.
One of you.
I
There's a
know.
puddle of you.
I got sad for a second.
Zendak,
There's
you dove
Eddard and there's
in
Puttard.
time. There was what, sir?
I said there's Eddard and then there's Puttard.
Oh.
I tried to pick him up. Oh.
Cab, see if Cab can fix Pudded.
You approach the forge.
That
You see
forward.
it in this. You see it in the distance. It's like it's almost like a town built on thread mills. Yeah, like a tank,
So like Mortal Legends.
like Mortal Engines, but smaller because it's about like 2 or 3 buildings and that's it. But it's made almost entirely out of adamantine.
What is?
The forge.
Oh.
It's belching out this sparkly dark gray smoke as it is just rolling closer and closer to a ravine. As you approach the forge with your ship, you hear a mayday call.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh, help! Oh, help! This is Thorman, Master Smith. We're having a problem. Help! Help! The forge has gotten out of control. We need rescuing. Help! Anyone, please! And this is just on repeat.
I blame Twitch.
Probably.
Can we make contact to ensure that they're still alive? Because God knows how long that message has been playing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and reach out with a message. Excuse me, Thorman. Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
And the message just repeats itself.
It's a recording.
I
Yeah,
kind
this
of
is a
imagine-
promising sign.
I kind of imagine that Doxy would also be kind of like the science
Officer?
science officer. So like he would immediately he's like,
Yeah,
I don't. What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Scanning for life signs, sir. Yeah, so I would imagine. Let me see if there's any life signs still on this vessel. I actually don't know. Does the Scarlet Trust have kind of that kind of sensor capability?
Yeah,
Okay.
You scan 12, 13, 14 different life signs.
Okay.
Which is
One
the
of
amount
which
that we're
is
expecting.
large.
One of which is large.
Yeah, a large. You know, you can't know what it is. Wait, people can't hear me?
You went a little soft.
I went a little soft.
Yeah.
Stuff, keep me warm.
Am I still soft? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
It's getting worse.
Is that
It's getting
better? Is that
much
better?
better.
Is that
Whoa, yes.
Yeah, I hit the gain button by accident.
Oh.
So
So
the
14
sensors
life
can tell
signs,
you,
one
yeah,
large.
14 life signs, one of which is large. All 13 others are medium-sized.
Okay. So I would report this. Captain, there's 14 life signs, one of which is a large creature.
Well, I believe we were expecting something like 14, 15 life signs on the forge. I don't know if any of them were particularly large or not, but we'll be prepared for whatever is going on.
Shouldn't we ask the mayor? Maybe he would know who's supposed to be on there. Maybe
Yeah,
it's a not to live that's just there.
yeah, we can ask the mayor. The other
Nobody's
thing,
supposed to be
Doxy.
large.
Nobody's supposed to be large.
Cabot, I'm just gonna paraphrase. Cabot can let you know that nobody's large. It's a bunch of humans and Thorman the dwarf.
All right. Well, you keep scanning for life forms, see if there's any changes as we approach. Kebashit, if you can get as many people, to sleep before we get down there, that would be appreciated. Everyone else, let's get strapped up. There might be, that quick in and out job. I promise. Maybe it might not be so quick in and out after all. All right, let's do this.
So,
Are we going in hard?
Yes, anticipate resistance.
So before we go out, Doxy would probably have done an analysis of the forge itself and seen if what the controls are like, if it's locked in a certain position. You said, I believe it's heading towards a ravine. Is that right?
There's about an hour before it reaches the ravine as it's picking up speed going towards the ravine. You have the floor plans because they weren't locked or anything, so you guys have a complete map of the place. I'll let you know once you land and you go in. I'll describe that. But right before we do that, as all of this is happening, in the darkness of their bedroom.
Do we have to land? Can we not just push it back using the ship?
Well,
we'll get to that. But I want to do, Zredrick wanted to do something before. And then we'll handle the forge. Huh?
I just wanted to ask the Twitch, and privately, why didn't you want to go there? What was that about?
Just
And to
because
see if it will talk to me.
I don't want to.
Is there something wrong with it that we need to know about?
Well, clearly now we see that it's going to get destroyed and everybody aboard's going to die, but I don't feel like going in.
Oh, well, all right. But I'm here to listen if you need to talk. And then I'll go help give a shit.
And Twitch replies, "You would say that, and yet you're the one that keeps the most secrets."
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. I don't deny that. I have to protect myself. I think you probably know something about that.
Oh,
Sometimes
I do.
it helps to stay safe.
I do. I have to protect you.
And I thank you for that, Twitch. Thank you. And then I will go and help Kevin.
Are you guys becoming best friends?
And this whole conversation happened while Zredrick was covered head to toe in whipped cream.
I still smell like manure because it's still like the remnants are still in the bottom of my pockets.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh God.
I look and smell great.
We're playing a sci-fi game where bathing and showering shouldn't be a big deal, and yet you guys smell like a medieval adventuring party.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So, yes.
When Zred walks into the medical bay, Kibachet just turns over. The decontamination shower's over there, darling.
I won't even hesitate. I'll go do that. I know better than to argue.
About the ship, Lola, you noticed that trying to slow down this construct with your ship might either put too much pressure on the reactors. It is feasible. You think that the only problem is that you would have to engage the engine at full speed, which means that it would take a bit of time before you can redirect the power to the dark matter engine to jump away.
So kind of similar to the hatch, right? That can open up. Is that right?
The what?
The hatch at the bottom that opens up in some way.
Oh yeah. That's how you get off the ship, actually.
Okay.
So you can rappel down if that's what you meant. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll suggest this, Lola. Instead of landing, maybe we can do a rappel or something like that. I haven't done that in a while. This should be fun.
If you hover above the
what?
platform, I can land on it.
Lola,
Y'all
you were
don't
saying?
understand. I feel the need for speed.
Oh god, buckle up.
I'm just in the decontamination shower and it's like, just like, oh god.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn on some music through the speaker system. There's a song called Danger Zone.
Danger Zone.
And I'm gonna go ahead and play some Kenny Loggins.
Fucking you can play by yourselves now.
I think I solved our Twitch problem.
I swear you're going to regret this.
But yeah, for real, I would like notify Doxy of Lola's plan.
You what, sorry?
I think this is a good idea. And Doxy's an engineer.
Yeah, it would slow down the rapid pace of that of the forge and probably give you guys more time to save whoever's inside. Yeah.
Yeah. And my thinking was that grapple down and basically create some sort of bridge to start moving people up and down.
So let's picture that my hand is like your ship. This is the
Okay.
bottom. When you want to get off the ship, it basically lowers, you know those two rooms in the cargo hold?
Right.
Like the two tiny square rooms? These are the ones that would be lowered to get, so the landing gears are as long as that, like how low this can go.
Right.
So you already have like a platform.
Right.
Then it's just a question of, either rappelling down and up or trying to find a way with like pulleys or something to pull, a makeshift secondary platform, if you will. Because you guys don't have a tractor beam or a teleportation pad for that matter.
Yeah, or we could just put some ropes down and be like, hey, climb up. Okay. So yeah, I would try to get a little crew to start coordinating the efforts there.
Okay. Who's part of the strike team going down?
I'll be the spearhead on that one.
Okay.
And I will be suiting up.
All right.
Oh shit.
Shred,
Yes.
do you wish to accompany them, or would you like me to, or should we go together?
I think you're the most useful here, because I do know quite a bit, but not the same way that you do. So unless you require my assistance here or would benefit from my assistance here, I will accompany them as well.
Your assistance is always a pleasure, but I think they might need you to make sure they don't get dead.
Roger.
Assuming we've had a short rest, by the way, Simon.
Yeah.
Time happening? Cool.
Can we have as a contingency plan someone manning the guns to shoot down the threads to stop the thing?
Like trying to make rebels.
Like, tried
that
to
way-
knock it over so it was off its treads.
Yeah. I mean, actually using the guns actually might be an interesting one as well to give it rougher terrain.
I was more thinking about taking out the threads entirely.
Oh, the threads.
Stop it.
Okay.
They're made of adamantine.
Oh, right.
Ah.
Remember, the entire construct is made of adamantine. It is going to be rough as fuck to try to chip it.
That's
We
very
have
idea
a
as well.
badass laser.
We do have a badass laser.
That is
broken.
uninstalled and broken.
It's not broken.
But the
You
Lola's
need
plan to
damage.
use the ship
Thank
to slow
you.
it down, to go head to head with it, that will work. Well,
Okay.
depends on how well you roll. But the strongest of the two constructs is going to be the one pushing.
I don't want our engineer controlling the systems of the ship while Lola's doing that. So I assume you're staying up top, or
No, because my thought that I was going on the
strike team?
strike team, Lola was piloting.
yeah.
My thought that I would be able to get inside the system of the forge.
I'm just thinking because you can start redirecting power through the ship to make sure that it's where it needs to go with the engineer role to make
Gotcha.
sure that the
Well,
ship
we-
doesn't load.
I also want to point out, I just remembered this. We have mech warriors and all kinds of other ships.
You don't know that.
Oh, I thought we saw it.
No. It's
No.
the audience sees it.
Oh, I see. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's why I'm saying you have all the time in the world.
Yeah, totally.
Until
Okay.
they
We have
get
like
to
an
Levine.
hour.
Yeah, an hour until the forge, reaches the.
Great.
Head
So
to the
I
edge.
Limits to
actually think we should do the bad terrain thing. If we come in, Lola would explain this in her voice, but I can't bother right now. We come in, shoot the ground, and make it choppy, and then Lola can level up with the highest point on the forge and
Okay.
push that point.
Okay.
Kebichet, you're staying in the med bay.
Yes. I will be. I mean, I can access everything I need from the med bay.
Okay. And then, so Zendax, Redrick, and Eddard are the rescue party. That it?
And Doxy, I thought.
Oh, and Doxy. So the 4 of you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, I rolled some hit dice to recover my lightning damage.
No problem. So, the 4 of you rappel down onto the forge. You just you fling yourself down.
I do have a jetpack.
I have a grappling hook, so I'm straight up like the whole Batman style where.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's redo this action sequence. Eddard is jumping down. Doxy's using his grappling hook. How does Red jump down?
I will have to use some kind of zip line or something.
You can follow me on my grappling hook. On my
I like to think.
Even better, I think that you ride on me on the way down there.
like I
You're
create
a
the
Skithari,
connection, and then yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is strange. Your form doesn't quite match.
No, that's when the smile gets kind of bigger than it should.
Oh yeah, because he can't sit on the back of the Skithari.
So it's like it's like
You have to
holding a little
hold
baby.
Yeah. Speaking of holding a baby, do you hold the second baby? Zendak, how do you come down?
I'm gonna have a fancy little gun with a grappling hook in it, and I'm gonna fire it, and I'm gonna
All right.
rappel down.
So Zred, you only have to hold Doxy with you.
I don't think I even gave Doxy a choice either. I think
It's just
I
like it.
scooped it up.
Ah. Hi, Shred.
So it's
and,
like
I still have that faint manure smell. I no longer am covered in whipped cream, but I just can't get that smell out of my pockets. It's terrible. Thanks, Twitch.
It makes for a very uncomfortable descent. You
Awkward.
zipline and jump down this super cool action sequence, and you all land.
Landing.
3-point landing. Yeah.
Ow,
and
my
then
knee.
Rear landing.
as the ship turns around, fires the light cannons into the ground, creating a sort of ridge. And then Lola brings the ship down with a 19 and starts pushing against the highest tower of the forge. And you on the ground can hear the screeching metal of these adamantine threads trying to push against the ship. Lola, I'm gonna ask you to roll periodically to keep the thing going, to buy
Y'all
them
brings a
more
whole
time.
new meaning of buzz in the tower.
I don't think you're actually buzzing, dear. I think you're doing something much worse to that tower.
Number 1 reference to Top Gun, I believe.
We've already had a Danger Zone reference,
There's
man.
so many today. You know, because you have the floor plan, you know exactly where the life signs are. And so you...
Is it still 14-1 large, by the way?
14-1 large.
Okay.
Are
I'm
you
making sure
going
it hasn't
through-
gone down?
No, not at all. And you see, like, even Doxy on your interface, I suppose everyone can see it because it's like hard light, so it like floats there.
Yeah.
You see like these red dots. You notice that two of them, the large one and another smaller one, are in the core of the forge. So like dead center of it, in a circular room. You notice that there are others in the control tower. Actually, those ones would probably be able to see Lola and the Scarlet Trust had they have any windows around to look outside
Okay.
from. And a few others are in other rooms. You know that it's a network of corridor that goes through the forge. It would have been labyrinthine, except that you have the plans, so you don't have to lose time or, get lost or have to make a detour. But speaking of detours, you take the shortest route to a room? How do you proceed now that you're on the ground?
So I would probably be like somewhere in the middle with Eddard in front and others around. And I kind of imagine that the hard light projections that I'm producing spread far out so that you see kind of floating pings, kind of like the sequence in Guardians of the Galaxy when he tosses out that hologram that like shows the past history, kind of like that. That's kind of what I imagine it would look like to kind of pass off that information. We would probably head to the nearest medium-sized life sign to kind of check on it, and then kind of sweep around. I would allow Eddard to kind of guide the strike team.
So Eddard's on point, and then followed by... Let's say you have to go in a single file this time. It would be Eddard, and then who's second?
Probably me.
All right, who wants to go third?
I'll be in the back.
The back?
Captain
Okay.
be third.
All right, so it's
There you go,
Eddard,
that works.
Eddard, Gnome, Halfling, Skatari.
Yeah,
The
we're
two
fielding them
tall
from-
ones are ensuring that the two smaller folks are safe. You
Yes.
reach the first medium-sized room, which is it's not engineering, but it's like let's call it like a refinery room from what you can gather looking at what's in here. And you notice that the how many of them were there? There were
14, you said?
No, all in all, but in this specific room.
Got it.
R1D.
I sense a trap.
There's 3 of them. 3
Okay.
humans, covered head to toe in molten steel.
Oh.
They are screaming in pain, and they extend their limbs to you and walk, their feet burning down even the adamantine flooring and marking it. Twitch pings in and says, "I said I would protect you. Don't say I never do anything for you." And I want one of the 2 spellcasters or gadgeteers to volunteer for an experiment.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Zred?
like a good
Zred?
experiment.
I'd like to mention I can also spellcast.
No, but those that are on the floor, on the ground.
Okay.
Zred lifted their hand first.
I'll volunteer.
All...
Zred beat me.
yeah, but that's okay,
Alright.
because it's going to happen twice. So
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
there will be another one, and it will not be Zred, unfortunately, because Zred, guess what? All of your spells go off at once.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh my god.
All of them.
wow,
And
there's
these-
a lot.
Well, the ones that you had prepared anyway.
Oh, well. Yeah,
So can you roll for your sleep spell?
I will. Okay.
And there's no like saving
All
throw.
right. Well, are we?
The sleep doesn't have a saving throw. It's you.
No,
roll
she
for-
means
on
do counter that action from
Blowing
Oh.
spells.
Oh, no. It's just, Wild Ship Surge. So sleep would be you have to
okay.
roll 5d8. Unless you want to
5d8.
launch it at a higher level. Then you would add, if you want to cast it as a level 2 instead, it would be 7d8.
Let's give this a try at a higher level.
Sure. Sleep goes off. 33. All 3 of these creatures fall on the ground asleep. And then
Oh,
there's a
wow.
moonbeam that strikes one of them,
Pew!
kills them. And then they're highlighted in fairy fire, and then Toll the Dead launches, kills another one. What this Eye of Anubis does? A beam of
good
tenebrous
question.
moonlight kills the other one. You're just... You got into the room, Twitch says, "Don't say I never said anything. I never do anything for you. And then all of a sudden, you are lifted off the ground, like a few inches, Redrick. You feel this shearing pain inside your chest, and then from any orifice that you have as a Scathari, all of the spells go out. Beams of moonlight, of darkness, the fairy fire, everyone in the room glows. You fall
It's like a
down.
disco.
Yeah. You get back on your feet after these, like, atrocious 6 seconds. Exhausted.
I need a cigarette. Oh god. This never happened before, I promise.
It's okay, Sven. It happens to 1 out of every 3 Rothians. It goes with age. Oh, but that hunger. Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
No.
It's like you just trained, you just went full CrossFit for a second. You're
Oh
hungry.
man. I'm looking around too, like, oh, it's a snack. But I know it won't help, but they look so tasty.
They're all dead.
No.
And then Noxie
All
says,
my compatriots are dead?
"Oh no! Your compatriots are just glowing."
Puzzled.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
glowing
looking
and
at
puzzled.
them like, ooh, so tasty.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I ate some jelly beans. Maybe that's something that happened.
You know, Twitch said something about doing something for us. I have a feeling this was not exactly Zred's fault.
Oh yeah, and I forgot about that. You have primal savagery. You also grew gigantic claws and fangs when you were lifted up in the air.
Oh, great. So I look even more,
Oh, you look like a
Terrifying.
feral Scathari.
and I love it.
So
what do my
that's...
compatriots think of that?
I don't know. What's your reactions?
My reaction is Twitch.
Yeah.
I think I am almost frozen in fear. It was like a magic bomb just detonated. Thankfully, we were spared.
This time.
Yeah. I'm just
Thanks.
wondering if I kept my hat on that whole
Yes.
time while I'm being flung around. Like, well, what if?
Well,
What if I
okay,
didn't keep my hat on?
roll a d20. On a 1 or 2, the hat fell off.
Oh, jeez.
Just to see, just in case. No,
14.
the hat stayed on.
Okay.
Might be
That's
good
true.
to invest in a safety strap.
Doxy distracted, as he is often by something. Probably the molten creatures, but then
You're going full epileptic after all the light show.
yeah, exactly.
But Loxy warns you. Loxy warns you that there are other life signs, and now that you've seen these ones, most of the others are in the same category, same state, except for some that appear to be flying, and they're coming towards you through the corridor.
God.
We have incoming.
I ready my guns. If
Yeah, I unholster my blaster as well.
A
Now that we
Yep.
we recognize that there are hostiles.
a waft of boiling hot air blows through the corridor. You are close enough not to get burnt, far enough not to get burnt, but close enough that you that breathing becomes difficult in this room. Can you all make a Constitution save, please?
Question.
Yes.
Spacesuit.
Does the spacesuit say anything about protecting you from environment or something like that?
It comes with a I forget the name. It has a environment suit as well. I can go into space with this.
Then I don't think there should be a problem for you. So you're good.
everyone else needs to roll Constitution. you said?
Constitution save, yep.
All right. I'm so good at these. I'm so very good at these. 3.
That's a failure.
No.
How about Zred and Doxy?
So
So you can just click on your
Well,
sheet.
I already rolled.
Okay. Yeah, you have actual dice.
Yeah. And I got an 18.
18. All right. And Rochelle on your sheet. Yeah, that would be where the saving throws are.
All right. So I got 18.
Nice.
18. All right. Yep. So you all succeed except for Justin, who for Zendak, who breathed in at the wrong possible, like the worst possible moment. And you are going to take 4 points of fire damage as your lungs are just burning and you are exhausted.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Wow.
Oh, good. 1 level of exhaustion.
Right after this waft of air comes flying in these 2 diminutive flying creatures. They are made of molten metal. They're dripping metal. They have like this long crooked nose and teeth made of glistening black and 2 tiny beady eyes that you can see from time to time when the molten metal parts and shows the eyes. They are 50 feet away from you. You can all do something.
I'm going to close the gap and engage them. Well, one of them at least.
I
right.
will shoot my guns.
Now, did that burn all of my spell slots?
All except your cantrips
Okay, that's what I thought.
that you have forever.
And you also have hexes too, which is nice.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same page. I think so. Alright, I'm trying to get used to these sheets.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
I will point my gross knuckly beady finger at one, and I will cast Toll of the Dead.
All right. Do I
yeah,
have to make a save?
Let's
for
see
that?
here.
I think.
Must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage.
All right. Doxy turned invisible.
Oh. Yeah. That was me just clicking through.
Oh, okay. I thought you decided to go invisible. Wisdom save. A 9.
I probably would, actually.
I fail.
Alright, so let's see if I can figure out how to...
From the spell itself. Yep, that's it. You only need to click on it.
Oh, okay. So,
And it takes 3 points of damage. You can all hear the toll go off as the creature all of a sudden stops for a split second and looks around, and then like 2 of its fingers just fall off.
Clunk.
Zendak, you were firing at one of them.
Yes.
And miss.
I am going to use my lucky ability
Oh, okay.
and re-roll that. Marginally better.
A 9 is a miss. You fire, but you shot too fast and missed the creature by mere inches. What about you, Doxy?
So, I would say that you see these kind of a whole slew of these light needles, like just long slivers of light energy appear around Doxy and just send off a bunch of different needles. And I'm going to cast Hard Light Needles.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what does that do again?
Just click on it on the sheet, it
needles.
should. Oh, well, unless it's yeah, that's a hit.
Right.
You can click on if you click on the word Hard Light Needle from the chat, like from the chat log, it'll display damage.
Oh, excellent. There you go. 3 force damage.
All right, the creature is the same one that was told, is now been hit, impaled by this light, this Hard Light Needle, but is still up, and all 3 of them are within range of Mr. Eddard, who is containing the threat. as you spent your turn to just rush up to them. So 1, 2, and 3. Do I hit on a 22, 20, and 10, Mr. Eddard?
Here's the thing. They were 50 feet away. I just needed, and I could simply take my 30 feet, and I can still attack at that point.
Oh, yeah. They will also fly up to you anyway on their turn. So I'm sorry. Make your attack first, and then we'll do the creatures.
Okay, here's one.
That is a hit.
And here's my second one.
That is a hit.
And
That's for the first one and the second one. That's an 11. One of them is almost dead as they just rush in and start just slapping you around.
both of them hit, yes.
So you're gonna take 8 points of slashing damage and 3 points of fire damage. The rest of the group. Lola, I'm gonna ask you to make another pilot check. Yeah, you're fine. Kebichet, if you're following...
Too easy.
if you're following through the like the health monitoring systems of the crew, you can see that Eddard is taking damage from something. And that the temperature of his suit is going up. So
would
did
it be
Zendak.
enough? Would it be enough for me to be concerned about it?
I mean,
maybe me getting slapped with heat exhaustion. Maybe.
Oh, then I might notice that one, but I would probably not necessarily be quite so concerned about Eddard. I'm aware of his abilities.
all right.
Lola, darling, they're getting beaten up again. You might want to be prepared for hostile.
I don't think they're gonna make it this far. If anything, you should calm and get them back on board.
But of course. Dred, darling, are you in a position to remove yourselves, or are you going to continue on?
Well, if we can extricate ourselves without facing these creatures, then we will. But right now, there's these molten metal things. like I'm trying to find a word. I probably look over at Doxy, like things, and.
It seems like we have a metal fusion between humanoids and.
So freeze it.
Zred, are you proficient with Arcana? Same for Doxy, actually.
I am.
Well, Zendak too. All four of you in the strike team, you can make an Arcana check.
I'm proficient in history, but not Arcana.
Okay. Yeah, only those that are proficient, I should say.
No, I'm not
Roll20
proficient.
just hates me today.
Alright. It's you don't know what that is, but clearly the fusion of molten metal and flesh is not something natural.
So I will see if we can have an exit route. Otherwise, we will have to dispatch these before we can get off the ship.
All right, we will be prepared. Lola, prepare for blowing up the vehicle once they extricate themselves. Apparently, there are abominations aboard.
Hey, I'm
Surprise.
just saying, if all these creatures are reading the same way on the scanner as the ones we've already faced, there's no reason to be staying on this forge any longer. Hurry up and get those passengers knocked out, and maybe we can get out of here extra early.
Luxie's gonna pipe up and say that the one other life form that is with the large life form is alive and not one of these things.
It would seem that not everyone has been transformed into these abominations. However, it does appear that other life sign is near the larger.
I see. Well, maybe it's this guy's lucky day. We'll press on best we can.
So, second round, all four of you.
I'm gonna go pew pew again.
Same.
Pew. And pew.
Both hit.
And pew.
You kill one of them. With actually, you kill one with your first bullet, and then turn around and shoot the other one square in the chest.
Okay. I didn't think they were humanoid. I thought they were like, they were flying.
Oh,
Like
they're like, okay, so
gargoyles?
picture, they're like, yeah, they're like tiny gargoyles. So they have a chest area.
Okay.
What about the other three? Any order, I don't mind.
Okay. I would probably, as an action, send another set of hard light needles.
Well, it hits automatically.
Right, it just does that, and then wait, is it always 3? What's going on here with the damage? Is it always? It's always 3 damage, right?
Yes, it's always 3 damage until you hit level 5, at which point it'll go to 6 damage.
Right. Okay. So another 3 damage, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to actually activate my force field projector and essentially walk past or walk up to the creatures and start scanning, like kind of yeah, I kind of imagine myself like, okay, well, we gotta press on if we're gonna make this happen. And so he'll kind of go around the corner and try to see what's around there.
Make a perception check, please.
Okay, perception. Myself. Oh yeah, so it's a 10.
10. So you notice there are arrows pointing to the different sections of the forge. You already know how to go to the core, where that other life form is. Thing is you also notice when you peer over the corner that another wave of hot air is coming your way. In what would be 2 turns.
Okay.
Like, you see the ripple in the air. You know, like when it's very, very hot outside, you see the ripple in the air that it's slowly coming.
The heat distortion.
Heat distortion.
Okay, cool.
All right, so there was that. So Zendak and Zred.
Now, remember, how many of them are left?
2. One of them is injured quite a lot.
I will point my finger at the one that's not injured, and I will cast Hex Discord. So it must make a Wisdom saving throw. And on a failed save, the creature must use its action before moving to make a melee weapon attack creature that you choose, which will be the one that's already harmed. And the effect lasts until the end of my next turn.
Good.
So.
And it failed, by the way, because they are the wisest creatures ever.
I can tell. So, on
its turn, it's going. You'll force it to attack the other one.
Yes.
All right. So Zendak, you are the one left. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to cast. No, I'm going to do Hard Light Needles because I don't feel like rolling dice. I do 3 damage to one.
All right. I forgot for the first one that exploded earlier upon death, dealt 4 points of fire damage to Eddard. And now Mr. Intact claws away at the other one, hits, and kills the wounded creature, which promptly explodes. Eddard, can you make another dex save, please?
Sorry.
You take the full brunt of 8 points of damage.
Oh my goodness.
Does the one that made the attack get damaged as well?
Oh, they're immune to fire damage, of course. And then there's only one left, but noticing that you can just dispatch them easily, it flies out and away. Actually, Loxy notices that it's flying outside. It is leaving the forge altogether, heading for the ship.
Yeah, or Loxy would basically probably communicate that to me, and I'll say, transmit to, let Lola and Cabochette know. You have something coming your way.
You
Kebbitchet, why did you introduce our friend to the void?
I do believe it might be quite entertaining for them. I know that it always entertains me. And she walks to the nearest panel and uses that to cast Void Light through the cannon.
It must make a Constitution save.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the proper window. There we go. Con save. 15.
Dang it!
So
Dang it.
the arcane cannon pivots and fires towards the forge at this small creature. Oh wait, it turns into a mega spell, doesn't it?
Which would immediately fizzle in.
Because we're in Atmo.
It's
Yeah,
also worth
but-
noting the arcane cannon takes 2 rounds. It takes a round to charge.
So you'd be better off just casting it from a window or something, or like
Okay, then I
going
cast it
to where
from
the
Platform.
the platform.
Yeah, I would go to the platform and do it, and just
All right.
using the holy symbol, bring it up and just pull this small tear into the void and just kind of have it stare at the creature. And apparently it's okay with that.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. It doesn't seem to realize that your religion is supposed to hurt him.
Fine.
Non-believer.
So, for the moment, we're going to go back to the strike team inside. And no, I'm going to go back to Lola and ask for a
Yeah.
third pilot check.
You know what?
Oh.
Since I know something's coming towards us, can I just dip my wing down and try and hit it? Since
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this.
Ah. All right.
Do like a.
If
Come on.
I
I'm
really
gonna
want
say-
to invert, but I can't find a good reason yet.
I'm going to say that you can, but that
Okay.
means that spinning like that will give you disadvantage on your pilot check to remain stationary and pushing against the tower.
All right. 17.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing was too transfixed on Kebbitchet's spell. Did not see the giant wing just bat it out of the sky.
Classic distraction.
The creature
Kind
would
of like the
take.
Indiana Jones scene where the rotor blade's coming around for the dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you roll 8d6, please?
Six.
Wait, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ship
Ah,
damage.
You hit it with the ship.
I just want to see in case it might survive for some reason.
6.
8 times.
Oh. Roll 7. I had 1d6.
No, 8. Yeah, it's
so
dead.
6, 23.
You break it, it just splatters on the wing, this like molten liquid
Hey.
that just pss, and Twitch goes like ow, ow, ow.
You see what it's like when you turn up the temperature?
Oh god.
Turn it down.
Twitch is gonna kill us.
There's just an emoji of an angry face on all the displays aboard the ship. Meanwhile, inside, since combat is over, you have enough time to hide in that room, shut the door, and let the wave of air pass through.
Gotcha.
All right.
So you're safe for that. Where do you head out next?
All right. So floor plan wise, I'd say like Doxy's hard light display would kind of like ping, ping, ping. This is where we're seeing the life signs. This is where kind of like the layout of the it's kind of like wall hacking, I would imagine.
Basically, yeah.
Basically wall hacking. Where like blueprints go everywhere. You see all things.
I propose, I don't know how big the ship is and where we're at in relation to this other supposed life form,
Right.
but I do have telepathy, and I wonder if I can just open my mind and reach out and try to just say
Well,
hello.
you know where it is, so you can reach
Yeah.
out there.
So I do that, and I want to say, who are you? Are you here on purpose? I just basically want to like, do you need help? Do you want help?
You're
We'll see
going
what I
to
get back.
hear 2 different things.
Okay.
One is basically you're opening your mind to everything that's in the core.
Okay.
One of them is just pure rage.
I
And
empathize.
just
I'm down
must
with it.
kill. And the other one is a frightened dwarven male who replies, "Oh, what? Where are? Please don't leave me alone, whoever you are. Please, I beg of you, help
Can you
me.
get away? Can you get away?
No, it
gotta go to the
trapped me
bathroom
in
or
here.
something.
I'm trapped in the core. Help me.
I relay that to my compatriots. So,
Can you
what has trapped you? What are we walking into down there?
The fire elemental. That was the central piece of the core of the forge. It got freed from its bonds. Please.
I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad.
Ain't mad, I'm just disappointed.
Slave and elemental.
Y'all, I'm not sure how long I can hold the ship like this. We're putting a lot of strain on the engine.
I leave it to my compatriots if we are going to pursue this any further, but I relay to them what I know.
So I would look to Captain and say, well, the direction's that way. Do we go?
You can
about how
avoid-
far would it... Forget about it. About how far would it take to get us down there?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Well, avoiding any and all other encounters and such. Yeah.
Look, everyone else on this ship's dead. We got one guy here.
I have answers, though.
He might have answers, but are the answers that we actually need?
I say we go for it.
I
Can
say
I-
we go for it too.
Yes, Red?
Use my mage hand to just go and open whatever door,
Ah!
Ahead of everyone?
or whichever door is holding this door hostage, and be like, "Okay, you're on your own. Peace out."
You would need to be closer to the door.
Okay, well then, I will advise my cohort that I will use my mage hand when we are close enough, and then maybe we can avoid this ship's elemental. Maybe, if we're lucky.
Okay.
You make your way to the core in record time. You notice, so the door is, like one of these old-timey submarine doors with a hatch,
Right. Right.
and all that. And through the circular window, through heavy smoke, you notice that this is just like a giant lava bath. There's a catwalk all around it. And the catwalk is broken in several places. There's an elemental trashing about in the middle of the room. And if you strain your neck, you can see to your right this dwarf holding on to dear life by one hand, clinging to the catwalk. With there's actually like I'm not gonna say frozen, but like a solid piece of rock, like magma that actually isn't hot anymore. Wow, words.
That's solidified.
Yeah, solidified magma is grasping, like holding him up against this, and he's every time that the elemental tries to fire either fire bolts at it or try to breathe fire or anything at it, it just raises a hand, and there's a sheen of light that just blocks it or deflects it, and he looks tired, exhausted. You open the hatch. I need one of the 2 remaining spellcasters, one of them to volunteer themselves.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Zendak. The moment the hatch opens, all of your spells go off.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, those
All right.
healing spells.
So my spellcasting's a little weird because part of it comes from trinkets, part of it comes from ritual casting, and part of it comes from the ability to cast rituals as an action a couple times a day.
Do you need to prepare any spells, or not at all?
No, I am a spontaneous caster.
So you would have a certain amount of slots, like spell slots that you can cast.
I do not have spell slots. What I do have is the ability to cast rituals as an action a number of times a day. I'm trying to pull up.
How many times a day is it at your level?
Rushed Incantation. It is my intelligence mod. So I can cast
3?
2.
2 of the
2
rituals
spells.
would go off right away.
And then in addition to the rituals,
Oops,
I
sorry.
have my trinkets that each give me 2 spells that I can cast per short rest.
Oh man.
All right, let me just check because I'm picking through them to see what fires. Sure. Transient Bulwark slams into the elemental. You also happen to cast an inflict wound at range.
Well, Transit Bulwark is actually something cast on myself.
Oh, on yourself. Okay, so it's cast
Yeah.
on yourself, but against the elemental. And let's say another ritual. Let's go with silence. The entire room falls silent. And let's fire another Scorching Ray and a Ray of Enfeeblement. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
No healing. No.
No, but the elemental has to make a... What's Ray of Enfeeblement again? Is it a save or...
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll click the magic button.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
You said Ray of Enfeeblement, correct?
Ray of Enfeeblement, yeah.
And there's Scorching Ray.
Black Bean, range attack. Well, it hits, so... Deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength. Alright, okay. And Scorching Ray, it's immune to it, but it does fire anyway.
From the door, how far is the dwarf from
10 feet.
the door? 10 feet? Okay. Okay.
Witch's Curse.
That was on accident.
Oh, okay. I thought you were using it. So all 4 of you, the 3 remaining ones of you, because Zendak just lifted up all of a sudden and Twitch went, now it's your time. And all of your spells just... except that suddenly the room is completely silent.
Which is super great for spellcasters, because, you definitely don't need words for casting spells.
Yeah, I know. As long as you remain outside of the door, you're okay. But inside, the dwarf was yelling, and there's just no sound coming out of him. Oh, also, he's a spellcaster. So there's that.
Oh, jeez.
So before the elemental acts, I want to know what Eddard, Zred, and Doxy are going to do.
wanna-
Go ahead.
I was just going to cast Lunacy on the elemental.
Right,
So-
what does it do?
What's that?
So, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet to make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the creature suffers from 1 long-term madness effect, selected at random, until the end of your next turn.
Wow, you're gonna
Turn.
negative 1.
So if I can just hold it up a little bit so we can get this guy broken out of here, maybe we can just zoop right on out with this dwarf.
What's the save?
Oh, it failed.
Oh.
It's got a -2 in charisma. I rolled a 14. Oh, wait, I rolled a 14. That might actually... What's your DC? Would be 10 plus your charisma bonus.
So that's +3, so 13.
It succeeded.
Aww.
No, isn't your spell attack or spell DC 8 plus your
Oh, I don't know.
Proficiency, so 10.
Oh, got you.
Just a second.
Spellcasting modifier.
Yep, so that's a 13, and he beat it with a 14. So unfortunately, the elemental does not go mad. It's just angry mad and not mad. What about the other 2?
How far away is the dwarf?
10 feet.
I'll look to Eddard and say, you work on breaking him free.
You got it.
I'll distract the elemental.
Is he in a
Do you have
straight
any?
line?
Well, yeah. It's just, his entire left hand is encased in cooled magma. Cooled. That's the word I was looking for. Cooled magma.
Oh wow! I'm gonna shoot the cooled magma.
Make an attack at disadvantage.
He doesn't need his hand to live. If you gotta cut it short, if you gotta cut it off, cut it off.
You take your swarm pistol out, crit the magma. You just fire. Ta ta ta.
No, No.
Chip away.
What?
Oh, it's disadvantage! You do
It's
not
11.
chip away at it, but it doesn't break completely. You do break part of it, and you notice you can see like 2 of his fingers. They're basically just bone now.
I have a second attack.
Before you fire your second attack, you realize that if you clear the cooled magma from where he is, he's gonna fall off in the lava below. 'Cause he's just holding on by his hand.
Okay, so since we're all going simultaneously, I would communicate. You go for the magma, and then I would. He's within 10 feet. So let's see. Grappling hook. Does that like let me hook onto stuff?
Well, during your turn, it would be as a bonus action.
Yeah. Target location. Let me see within movement speed.
I'd say if you were to fire your grappling hook at him, you could probably hook up to his chest, like around his chest.
Like wrap it around.
Wrap it around and pull him back up. That is feasible. Then that would be a bonus action. But then it means that Eddard needs to hit on his other attack to free the hand and make sure you can pull him up properly.
I still have my action, so in case he doesn't
you
do
still
it,
have an action.
Do it. Okay.
So go ahead, Eddard.
So I'll ready that. Or something.
Fire away. Eddard. And that's a hit. The grappling hook latches around the dwarf. Eddard breaks the last of the magma. The dwarf yelps. Ah! You pull him back up. Do you have an action before the fire elemental acts?
I do have an action. So when... How far away is everyone? No one's really moved around. We basically just stood at the door.
Oh
right?
yeah, literally. You're all at the door. You could just easily, we could say you can exit and just close the door if you wanted.
Yeah, well, I was thinking I would use my force field projector. And so like the grappling hook pulls the dwarf into our sphere, and then this electromagnetic field just buzzes with energy as it basically blocks the entrance and allows us to escape if we want to.
And with that, you escape the forge with a broken Thorman, holding the remains of his hand, clutching them to his chest. You leave the forge, you embark on the Scarlet Trust as Lola pulls away. And now you all see them. Those 3 giant robots land on the planet. And they just start picking up like these chunks of adamantine.
Oh.
And when they have enough, like one of them just downright jumps down and picks up one of the floating meteors that's fairly freaking wide, and just warps with it. Like jumps up, leaves atmosphere, and then disappears. But you do get a good view of what they look like.
Okay. Doxy would probably be recording measurements or sensor data from that whole time. Or sorry, Loxy would be doing that at Doxy's direction.
So if for future references, you can call them the spider frames.
Okay.
And I'll know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
The crew of the Scarlet Trust flies away, I guess.
Yay! We survived.
We
survived Ronnie.
And as they come aboard, I just go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Eddard. You should feel much more better soon." Yes. And she casts
I'm
Cure
only
Wounds
bleeding
on
for a
him.
few places.
Yeah, let's get you to medical. I can do so much more there.
Yeah.
Captain, go take a nap. You'll be fine in a little while. Good.
There's so much more concern for Eddard than there is the captain.
Oh yeah.
I will come around in a little while and help make you feel better, but you're not obviously bleeding at the moment. You're just tired.
More or less. I got some work to do before I take a nap, but yeah, I'll do what I can.
Oh yes, your ship is cooled down. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fixed that earlier with the hack.
And we'll say that you at least break Atmo before the end of tonight's session, so you'll do the jump and everything next week. But right before we leave and all that, as you hop on the in your quarters, Zendak, there is a message waiting for you on your computer.
I listen.
It's from a completely hidden figure that calls itself the Spider. And it says, "You and I must have a chat, Mr. Highhill." And that's where we're going to end today.
Oh, man. Mystery.
Interesting.
So,
Spider frame.
So
are we all, like, next session where we all become Spider Sonas and, like,
Nope.
Spider-Man campaign?
Nope.
Oh, dang it. I was already halfway there. I had all the gadgets and
I'm
everything.
actually, I'm in chats with Bird vs. Plane about making a kid-friendly Spider-Verse system.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I saw him tweet about that.
Yeah, we've been DMing back and forth a little bit about when we can get together and hammer out some details. Mm-hmm.
So, that was a thing. All the rooms are now unlocked, waiting for you to step in them for the first time.
Oh, man.
The ship has gone through multiple ship surges today, and we'll go through more, and personalities, and might go through more in the future. Some secrets are starting to be revealed, but that's where we're gonna leave for tonight. Thanks to everyone who stayed and watched. Thanks to everyone who donated. Much, much love. Yes, indeed. You are what makes this show going, and all of your actually just presence is the best, honestly, to have you around and enjoying it as much as we enjoy it here. What the hell are you guys doing?
I tried to make it hard, but I just couldn't do it, so I just decided to improvise.
All right. Well, then let's go around the table the reverse order from the introductions. We'll do outros. Just let everybody know who you are, what you have going on in your lives, and where we can find you online if people want more of you. We'll start with Rochelle.
Hello again. My name is Rochelle. I go by Meep on most social media, but my handle is at Pashka_D on Twitter. I think it's pretty much the only social media that I'm on. And I'm also a member of the Gauntlet online role-playing community, so we do quite a few different systems there. So sometimes I'll post YouTube videos of some different systems that I've played in. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Cool. Justin.
Hi, as I said, I'm Justin with Mage Hand Press. You can find me at Mage Hand Press on Twitter. You can go check out our blog where we post free things about 2 or 3 times a week. And that's magehandpress.com. We have a Patreon where you can see tons of books, or if you don't like Patreon for some reason, you can buy our books individually on DriveThruRPG or the Mage Hand Press store. But yeah, so I'm still recovering a little bit from PAX South because that was crazy. There was a 5-hour drive involved, lots of late nights. I lost count of how many games I ran. It was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. And then Thursday, I'll be playing on the Unmade Gaming channel with Simon as well, where we are playing Blood on the Reich, and that should be fun. But I'll pass it off to the next person.
Deirdre. Sorry, I had to eat.
Okay, you have to eat, it's fine. Sorry, guys, I'm stuck. Hi, y'all. You know me as Praxagor Thesmophoria in the chat, or at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, where I talk about D&D and classics, because I'm a major nerd. But you can find me hanging out kind of frequently on this channel, as I started a new campaign on Saturday for some what we call Go West. It is a pulp Cthulhu Western campaign where I drive Simon mad. On Sundays, we are on Soulbear RPG. I'm on Soulbear RPG playing Eleanor Delcroix, my Fae Bard, which is also from Mage Hand Press in the Fae Folio. She's a lot of fun. And then you can find me back here on Monday nights playing in this wonderful, wonderful world of Dark Matter, and so much fun. And other than that, you can find me hanging out on Role Players with all those fun people. But catch me around. I'm here.
Cool. Eddie.
Hi. So I'm Eddie Freeman. I'm recently changed my screen name to Pixel Pirate with a 3 in the first E. But you can also still find Ninja Studio out there on the internets. That's going to be actually my next thing. I'm working on some personal projects and all that good stuff. So Ninja Studio is part of that. More to be discovered later on. And then, I'm also quite tired because I was down in LA for the weekend, enjoying the sunshine for once. That was a lot of fun.
You there for the Critical Role thing?
Yeah, the Critical Art Gallery and the live show. Oh my god, the live show was so good. Anyway.
No spoilers.
So jelly.
I'm on a strict no spoilers for like a month, so yeah.
Charlie.
Hey,
hi.
me. I'm Charlie at Frost from Fire on the Twitters, no O in the from. I'm all over the place. But let's see. Tomorrow is the first ever, I think it's kind of a session 0, session 1 / episode of a new Dungeon World campaign over on Pro Restarters channel that I'm very excited about. I've never played Dungeon World before. It's a great Powered by the Apocalypse style system. Fancy D&D, classic style kind of ish. So I'm very excited about that. And then coming out this weekend is the premiere of a show that I am DMing called The Lost Girls over on WebDM. It's an amazing cast. I'm very excited. It's a Cypher system.
Yeah.
Come join us for some vampires. But the rest of my schedule is in my pinned tweet. I play nearly every day except for Saturdays, so I am around somewhere most days. And thank you very much to Simon for DMing this. It was a lot of fun, a lot of chaos, and I got to fly the ship.
There will be plenty of other opportunities for that. And lastly, Alex.
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at The Gambit. And I will also be playing tomorrow on this very channel, where we will hopefully say goodbye to Yoda. Hopefully.
Yep.
Nice and all, but we have a galaxy to save.
So that way I won't have to spend another full day trying to practice my bad Yoda impression.
Or we could stay there for a few more weeks to train.
Sure. Whatever you guys want. So I'm wondering, DM, welcome to my channel. I'm not going to go into the whole spiel about the schedule because now the schedule is in the credits. So just watch the end credits and you'll see the entire schedule with like everything, where I am and what I do. And I'll see you next week for the third episode of Dark Matter. Ciao everyone, thanks for hanging out and thanks for coming, and see you next week. Bye-bye.